Good evening, everyone. The Clayton County Board of Commissioners regular board meeting is now called to order. The date is June 17, 2025, and the time is 6:00 p.m. At this time, we will move to roll call. District 1,
Here.
District 3,
Present.
District 2, and District 4.
Present.
All right. Today we will have for our invocation Pastor Samuel Holder of the Old Landmark Church, OGH.
Chair?
I see.
One note.
I'm getting ready to recognize him. You
There's
Okay, what you
a
do?
major issue.
Okay.
Today, we're gonna have Pastor Holder Bishop Holder was supposed to be here today. Unfortunately, Bishop Holder passed about 3 weeks ago. So unfortunately, he is not gonna be here. So I'd like to have a moment of silence for him and his family as we go through.
All right, so at this time, we will have a moment of silence for Bishop Holder. Thank you. All right. And I'm sorry to hear that, Commissioner Davis, and we send condolences to him and his family. Next, we will have our Pledge of Allegiance. Would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, next will be the adoption of our agenda. We're going to, board members, before we adopt the agenda, I'm just going to ask that we remove item 34 from the agenda at this time, if that's okay with the board.
34.
Can you repeat that item?
Item 34. And, all right, so at this time, so we need to vote on it now, Chuck, we can go and vote.
Yes.
Okay, we're going, okay. All right, so at this time, I need a motion to remove item 34. I make the motion, can I get a second?
Second.
All right, is there any discussion at this time? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, any abstentions? The ayes have it, and the motion passes. Thank you. Also, board members, are there any items that you would like moved to the regular agenda?
Yes.
Yes.
Madam Chair, I'd like to move to the regular agenda, item number 26, resolution 2025-124.
All right, so that's 26. Are there any others, board members?
Yes. I would like to move item 12 to the regular agenda.
Okay, so we have 26, 12. Any other items at this time? Tahisha, do you have those items at this time?
Yes, I do.
12 and 26. All right, thank you. All right, at this time, I need a motion to adopt the agenda.
Madam Chair, were there some items that were going to be added to this agenda as emergency
Okay, she
items?
didn't give them, I don't have them. So do you know what items they are? Because I don't have them.
She added one of the amendments back onto this agenda that we were supposed to approve at this meeting.
Okay.
She added 2-41,
Okay.
and she needed to add also items 2-42 and 2-43.
2-43. All right.
Do we have a copy of those?
Do you have a copy of
I don't-
those?
we don't
Because we
have
don't have a
those.
copy.
Okay, yes, I will get copies.
All right. So
Not all
you,
of them.
okay.
This
And-
is only 242 and 243. Those need to be added to the, what about 241?
241, 242, and 2-41, 2-42, and 2-43?
2-41 should already be on the agenda.
Okay, and so
Okay,
2-42 and 43.
Thank you.
Okay, and you'll get us copies of those at this
Where's
time.
No, we do
2-41?
have copies.
Oh, yeah, y'all got them?
I was
Okay.
looking for it in a different
'Cause-
format.
Okay, those are the ones right here.
Where is 2-41 on the agenda?
It's under interoffice memo.
What item number?
Item 9. All right, so,
Oh, one moment.
y'all supposed to read these agendas prior to this.
Oh, because it's cut off in the middle. I'd like to move item 9 to the regular agenda.
Okay.
Yeah, like half of it's cut off.
So we have 12, we have 9, 12, and 26, Madam Clerk.
Clear.
All right. All right, so at this time, I need a motion to adopt the agenda with the added items 2-42 and 2-43. All right, can I get a motion?
So moved.
All right, can I get a second?
Second.
All right, is there any discussion at this time? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? The ayes have it, and the motion passes. Next will be presentations and proclamations. We have we have 4 proclamations and 2 presentations today. The first one will be a proclamation for Clayton County, where Clayton County recognizes June as National Home Ownership Month, which is very exciting, and that is coming from Dr. Alika Anderson, the chair. Next is a proclamation, June is National Safety Month, and that's Central Services and Chairwoman Dr. Alika Anderson Henry. Next will be a proclamation for Clayton County celebrates Women's Veterans Day. That is from Commissioner Tasha Allen. We're very excited about that as well. The fourth one will be a proclamation celebrating the grand opening of Preferred Waste Solutions, and that is from our Vice Chair, Elena Reeves. Our next presentation will be on the Sheriff's Office audit update from our DCOO, Murkison. And number 6 will be our presentation for our SPLOST update from DCOO Murkison's. Board members, will you please come down so we can do our proclamations first?
And also, Madam Chair.
And also, I want to
Go ahead.
recognize,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
we have some people in, did you want to do that?
No,
No, you good?
don't know what you're about to say.
Okay, well, you do what you're about to do. Yeah, go.
No, I wanted to move another item to the agenda, to the regular agenda, if I may. So,
Can we just vote?
It needs a motion.
item 21.
It needs a motion.
So at this time, you just have to make a motion to move item 21 to the regular agenda.
Yes, that's what I'm doing, making a motion to move item 21, resolution 2025-119 to the regular agenda.
All right, I second that motion. Is there?
No, we don't need a second. We're just moving to the regular.
No, because you all are.
You got
we
to
already
vote
done.
on it. We got to
My fault.
vote.
I'm sorry.
All right, I second that motion. All right, is there any discussion at this time? All right, to move item 21 to the regular agenda. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? The ayes have it, and the motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Davis, Commissioner Davis. All right, so we're going to go on. Board members, please come down for our proclamations. Thank you.
Clayton County Board of Commissioners honors National Home Ownership Month. Whereas, home ownership is the American dream and is close to the hearts of the citizens of Clayton County. And whereas, home ownership provides a sense of stability and belonging to the greater community. And just as home ownership builds strong families, it is also the building block of strong communities. And whereas, Clayton County is committed to helping more citizens, especially those who have been shut out in the past, know the joy, the financial security, and the sense of community that comes with owning their own home. And whereas, the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, provide funds to Clayton County, which are used to provide citizens with the tools and information to overcome the barriers that deny home ownership to many Americans. And whereas, through a combination of housing counseling and down payment assistance, HUD is helping more Clayton County citizens buy homes and live the lives they had once only imagined. Now, therefore, I, Chairwoman Dr. Alika Anderson Henry, on behalf of the Clayton County Board of Commissioners, do hereby honor and encourage all citizens to celebrate National Home Ownership Month and call on all Clayton County citizens to join us in recognizing the importance of providing every citizen with the opportunity to achieve their own American dream through home ownership. In witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused a seal of Clayton County, Georgia, to be affixed this 3rd day of June in the year 2025.
We have something on Saturday. Well, I can do it by, I need a mic. I need a mic. On Saturday, we're going to be having our National Home Ownership
Home buyer education
home buyer
class.
education classes, and it will be all day from what, 8:30 to 8:30 to 5. So we want to invite everyone out. If you want to become a homeowner, this is a great opportunity for you to come out. And Ms. Boswell will be out there, and she will be working with HUD, so we can make Clayton County citizens homeowners. Let's give them a round of applause.
And the important thing is, we give you up to $15,000.
All right, so $15,000 in closing costs. All right. All right, and where is it located, Ms. Boswell?
1671 Adamson Parkway. 1671 Adamson Parkway, excuse me.
That's in Mara, Georgia. Yep, it's Adamson Parkway, Mara, Georgia. Let's give them another round of applause. Thank you, Ms. Boswell, for all you do. Thank you.
Clayton County observes June 2025 as National Safety Month. And whereas the Clayton County Central Services Department Risk Management Division provides solutions and supports in the identification and minimization of the county's operation risk through safety awareness to protect the county's employees, properties, and assets. And whereas during the month of June, the Clayton County Central Services Department Risk Management Division will follow the National Safety Month theme of Stay Safe at Work and Beyond in its upcoming activities. And whereas the month of June has been designated as National Safety Month by the National Safety Council and safety and risk management organizations throughout the world engage in efforts during the month to focus on reducing the leading causes of injury and death at work, on the road, and in our homes and communities. And whereas the Clayton County Central Services Department Risk Management Division will host a June as National Safety Month workshop with all departmental safety coordinators on June 27, 2025. A defensive driving class for the Clayton County Youth Services participants on June 17th. And the county's defensive driving class on June 26, 2025. The Clayton County Central Services Department Risk Management Division will host a risk management and insurance workshop for suppliers on June 24, 2025. And whereas the Clayton County Central Services Department Risk Management Division will share weekly safety resources during the month of June for all county employees and the public. And now, therefore, I, Dr. Alika Anderson Henry, Chairwoman on behalf of the Clayton County Board of Commissioners, do hereby proclaim the month of June 2025 as National Safety Month in Clayton County, Georgia. I encourage all citizens to engage in special efforts during the month to recognize the importance of the role played by safety and risk management profession in business, industry, and government. In witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused a seal of Clayton County, Georgia, to be affixed this 17th day of June in the year 2025.
That's going to be in July. Yeah, so we just had some risk management things coming up this month.
Clayton County Board of Commissioners recognizes June 12th as Women's Veterans Day. Whereas women have served honorably in the United States Armed Forces throughout history, from the Revolutionary War to today's combats and leadership roles. And whereas more than 3 million women have served our nation, now comprising nearly 20% of active duty military and 10% of all veterans. And whereas Women's Veterans Day honors their bravery, resilience, and the vital roles they've played at home and abroad. Now, therefore, I, Commissioner Tasha Allen, on behalf of the Clayton County Board of Commissioners, proudly recognize June 12, 2025 as Women's Veterans Day and honor the legacy and service of all women veterans. In witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of Clayton County, Georgia to be affixed this 17th day of June in the year 2025. Clayton County Board of Commissioners celebrates the grand opening of Preferred Waste Solution, Lake City, Georgia. Whereas Dwayne and Julia Isaac, with over 35 years of combined experience in the waste management industry, have demonstrated vision, courage, and an unwavering commitment to excellence by founding Preferred Waste Solution, PWS. And whereas Dwayne, as a high-ranking general manager in a major waste management corporation, and Julia, as a decorated United States veteran and nearly 10-year law enforcement officer with the Clayton County Police Department, took a bold leap of faith, investing their own resources to bring a long-held dream to life. And whereas Dwayne Isaac first declared his vision 15 years ago with the words, "I will own my own waste company," and with Julia, transformed that vision into a thriving business built to set a new standard of professionalism and service in the industry. And since its founding, PWS has grown to proudly serve over 3,327 clients and has secured a 3-year contract with GFL. And whereas June 15th, 2025 marks the 2-year anniversary of the day Preferred Waste Solution officially opened its lines for business, symbolizing a milestone of growth, dedication, and impact. Now, therefore, I, Commissioner Elena Reeves, Vice Chair on behalf of the Clayton County Board of Commissioners, celebrate the official grand opening of Preferred Waste Solution, honor the leadership and sacrifice of Dwayne and Julia Isaac, and recognize the positive impacts of PWS on the Metro Atlanta region. In witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of Clayton County, Georgia to be affixed this 17th day of June in the year 2025.
All right. Our next presentation will come from our DCOO, Landry Murkison. It is the Sheriff's Office Audit Update. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Madam Vice Chair, members of the board. So as requested by the board, I'm bringing you the latest and last installment of the BOC Sheriff Audit Update, as Internal Audit is putting the final touches on their report. But I did want to, once again, just bring forth the last of the information that we did have at our disposal. Once again, just wanting to start with thanking the Audit Committee for their work during this process. Next up, just to kind of recap the audit points that we've talked about over the last few previous presentations. For the purpose of this presentation tonight, we'll be focusing on bullet point number 3, which was potential sources of income that are required to be remitted to the county. Just to recap for the board, the documents that we originally requested back on April 8th of 2025, bullet point 1 was the grand jury financial presentments. Bank statements for calendar year 24 and 25 for the following Truist bank accounts. And then on April 9th, we requested 2 additional bank statements for calendar year 24 and calendar year or year-to-date 25 for the following Ameris bank accounts. So for tonight, what we will be focused on is the miscellaneous business account ending in 7189. So finance was sent a copy of 2 bank statements a while back, which did not hit their records because they did not have previous knowledge of these accounts, and that was the bank statements from Ameris bank account ending in 7189, and then an additional one for 7163 that was labeled as the Sheriff's Training Fund. So these were accounts that, as I said, finance did not have on their records and has not been presented as a part of the county's audit, as we didn't have any information to present. So as we started going through this particular bank statement, which is, like I said, the 7189 account. So this statement was actually for the period of August 31st, 2023. At the time of it, as you can kind of see, had a beginning balance of over 211,000, had a low balance of 197, and had an average balance of 208,000. And the only revenue that came into this account during this period was 2 pre-authorized credits from Network Communications, which we will circle back to here in just a few minutes. So as we started looking at the expenditures of this account to try to figure out what was the primary purpose of this account, where was the revenue coming from, what was the source, and what were the expenditures, we noticed out of this particular one, there was a couple of expenditures to Crystal in Fayetteville, another one to Papa John's, some checks paying off the balance at D&K Sioux City, and then a few checks to both Landmark Dodge and GMC Hennessy for what appeared to be vehicle service. So when we got to this, we started trying to track down the specific vehicles, because as you all know, the county has a fleet maintenance division which covers fleet maintenance of all of its registered vehicles. So there shouldn't really be a need to take one to an alternative destination unless that's something that fleet chooses to do. So when we started trying to track down the vehicles, we actually, through various, either through fleet or through finance, tracked down a total of 26 vehicles representing $1.238 million in expenditures, which did not go through the normal county procurement process or asset logging. The vast majority of these fleet had, but finance had no record of, between a value because they didn't understand how they were purchased or what revenue source they were purchased from. And a lot of these were kind of uncovered as they were being asked to add to the asset list. So the county understands what the value of the vehicle is. So as we started trying to track down the procurement method so we understand how these vehicles were purchased and what was the revenue source, since they were not coming from general funds, we started reaching out to the car dealerships where they were purchased with the paperwork that we had gotten from Fleet. And we recognized that this select group, 5 vehicles coming from Brandon Ford, 4 vehicles coming from Terry Cullen Chevrolet, both of these were written with checks off of the Ameris Bank account in 8/6 of 24 and then 7/31 of 24 with Brandon Motors. We've reached out to the remaining vendors trying to get checks for how those vehicles were purchased, where did they come from, what was the revenue source for them and the expenditure source, and have had some additional luck with them. Some of the early vehicles that were bought back in 22 were paid off of one of the SunTrust Truist accounts. You go down further, we're unfortunately waiting for Wade Ford to provide us with their documentation. Terry Cullen, there were some additional ones paid for out of the SunTrust Truist account. And then you see the ones from Ameris Bank. We believe Wade Ford was bought out by another dealer, so we're hopefully going to get that information, but we may not. And then we're waiting on the additional information from Legacy Ford and both Carl Black and Hiram to get to the information of where those vehicles were purchased from. So as we start looking for, obviously, we know that the ones that were drawn specifically off of the Marist Bank account totals $417,142, which exceeds what the revenue was in the account at least back in 2023, which is the only statement that we have. So what we wanted to try and attempt to understand was the revenue source, where this money is coming from, and whether or not those funds, per the board's request, should be remitted to the county. So as we go back, the only thing we have to go off of is, like I said, the 2 automatic debits that were made from Network Communications, and you see those listed here. One of the things that's important to understand is, according to the Georgia Sheriff's Association Handbook, Commissary and Inmate Telephone Funds, a sheriff may not use county property, facilities, or other resources to earn revenue independent from the county budgeting process and keep that revenue for use of the sheriff's office. This section was codified out of litigation, which was Lawson v. Lincoln County 292, which was a Georgia Supreme Court 2008 case. Where this becomes important, and we'll kind of walk you through kind of the lineage of this. So when we look at specifically the telecommunications account historically, you can see here, beginning back in fiscal year 2019, the county has regularly received revenue that's been sent from the sheriff's office for an account that's entitled Vending and Telecommunications. So going back to 2019, you can see we received $291,000. In 2020, they exceeded expectations, and the county received $318,000, and you can kind of follow that along. 2023, once again, that number went up a little bit. 2024, that number, we only collected half of what was estimated and budgeted, and then for fiscal year 25, we've yet to receive any revenue. So where this becomes important is, as this county, as y'all have done this evening, is looking at revenue and where revenue is trying to understand, is all the revenue that's being generated for the county being turned over to the county so that that money can be used to either offset cost within budgetary expenses or make sure that we're accounting for everything accordingly. As I said, we only have the 1 month bank statement for this particular accounts. So hopefully when we get the remaining bank statements from 24 and 25, then that'll kind of show us where that revenue is coming from, and then other expenditures, and hopefully help us close the loop on at least the vehicles, so we make sure that we get the right assets and the right value assigned, so that when the county is doing its insurance, when it's doing its risk and its loss statements, that we make sure that we have proper values for all the assets that are under control of the county. So with that, as I said, it was brief, but I'll open the floor to any questions the board may have.
All right, board members, are there any questions at this time? Commissioner Hambrick?
I have one. With these cars, if we don't have a record, are we liable for whatever could happen or anything, since they're not being serviced by the county?
Some of them are being serviced by the county, and we're still pulling all of the information, but we believe they're titled in the name of the county. So if they're being driven by a county employee in the term of county business and something happens, yes, ma'am, the county's liable.
Board members, are there any other questions at this time? All right. You can go on next with the SPLOS update.
Okay. Welcome once again, and thank you, Madam Chair, Madam Vice Chair, members of the board. So really quick, just the SPLOS update. I know I was requested via email to give an update. The short and sweet part to this is Marty and I will be getting together with our department heads next week to build out the project list based off of project needs and what now we know from a capital standpoint is or is not included in the fiscal year 26 budget. So that will kind of give us some ideas. So we will start compiling and building out that project list next week. After the conclusion of the last board meeting, I sent out an email to the board with kind of what the projected allocations to the municipalities would be. So far, I haven't gotten any feedback from that other than Commissioner and Allen and I are working through some numbers, and I'm getting her what she's asked for and Commissioner Reeves, of course, asking for this update. So I'm going to run off an assumption that we're good with kind of where we sit for now. Obviously, there will be a series of hearings, and we can kind of start to get some of this finalized. I've been in contact with our municipal partners to kind of let them know where we are. But I have to provide notice to our municipalities by June 23rd, and that's just a heads up to them. There's 10 days after that, we will schedule a meeting that will go down with all of the cities, their representatives that have been assigned by their governing bodies, to sit down with the county and kind of get their list of projects. Obviously, we don't really get involved in the projects that they want to bring forth, so long as they're staying within their budgeted allocations. And then we will bring forth a project list of recommendations to this board, along with what's remaining from the list. As I said in my last presentation, we have way more requests than we're going to have funding for based off the new allocation structure in this upcoming SPLOST program. So we'll work through the immediate needs based off the facilities master plan. What does building and maintenance see as an immediate need to get repaired? Some of the things we've talked about already with jail upgrades and courthouse stuff that we already are aware of and have budgeted out in the master plan. So it would be our intent to bring that back to this board in the next couple weeks, just to kind of give you an idea of where we are from a project standpoint, based off needs, requests, and how we're going to manage needs from a capital program standpoint over the next 6 years.
That will be a complete list, a complete exhaustive list of everything that was.
It will. So the way we will present it is we will present it to you as kind of a needs assessment. Here are some priorities. Typically with most SPLOST programs that we do, there are some heavy maintenance needs that have been deferred for budgetary reasons. So we try to go ahead and take care of those. One is the roof issue at juvenile court that I spoke with Commissioner Allen about. That has a green roof on it, which means to remove the soil and the grass from the roof. Just to get down to the root of the problems, about $2.5 million. So being that we didn't have that in the general fund, that will obviously be one of our top priority projects from a maintenance standpoint. And there are a few of those around the county that we need to make sure that we take care of. So our job will be to prioritize it based off of what our facilities master plan says we need to do. But then we'll give you a complete list of everything that's been requested. And then that will be up to the board to massage and say, well, these are some things that we would like to see taken care of. And then we'll continue to work through that scenario to get what will then become ballot language for the referendum.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, any other questions at this time?
Are we behind schedule in getting answers to whether it's the cities or the board making decisions for the SPLOST projects?
We're not behind schedule. So one of the things that I asked this board for at the last meeting was whether or not you wanted a level 1 in this project or a level 1 project in this SPLOST. The board agreed that they did. So based off of what information we have currently as to what that level 1 need is with the upgrades to the jail, since the jail services every municipality in the county, it qualifies as a level 1 project. So the numbers that I sent to the board anticipate those funds coming off the top. Which is how level 1 projects work, especially when you go through the IGA method, which we will be utilizing as we have for previous SPLOST. So I have that information that's been circulated to the board. As I said, I haven't gotten any contradictory feedback since then about that thought process. So that's what we will send to the board as to our municipalities as a starting point.
I know the Clayton County Municipal Association, they're meeting tomorrow. Is this on the agenda? Will you be discussing what the board has previously discussed at that meeting tomorrow? You said they needed an update by the 23rd?
No, I said I would provide them notice on the 23rd, which I'm required to by law, that we will be convening a meeting to talk specifically about the municipal projects for the 26 program.
And I do think they changed that meeting from tomorrow, so I will check and give you all an update on what.
But to answer your question, I was not asked to nor knew about the meeting, so no, ma'am, I will not be there.
Okay. All right. Any other questions at this time, board members?
Yes, Chief.
Yes, Commissioner
Is
Hambrick.
there a limit for the municipalities, or how have we come about the numbers as to what amount?
So how I have factored the municipal limit, so yes, ma'am, there is a limit as it relates. Now, the only thing that could potentially affect The municipal outlay for any SPOS program is how many level 1 projects this governing body chooses to incorporate. So level 1 projects can assume the entirety of a SPOS. It's allowable by law. It's never been done here, but how the calculations are done is based off of the last negotiated loss certificate that was signed and approved by the board. So those percentages, if you care to hear them, College Park will get 1.06%, Forest Park will get 11.28, Jonesboro 2.96, Morrow 3.77, Lake City 2.25, Riverdale 8.75, Lovejoy 3.34, and the county will get 66.59%. And that's based strictly off of population as agreed to by the county and all the cities at the last lost negotiation. And that's how we've run previous SPLOST programs. Those numbers had stayed the same through, and correct me if I'm wrong, Chuck, I believe those numbers had stayed the same from the 04, the 09, the 09, the 15, and the 21 SPLOST. The percentages all stayed the same. This one, because the last loss certificate was done about 2 years ago, the county's percentage went down about 13%, so that got scattered across the municipalities.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am, but that's how the calculations are done, so it's not us making it up, it's done specifically by that negotiation.
Thank you. All right, are there any other questions at this time, board members?
Yes.
All right, Commissioner Reeves?
Less of a question, more of a comment. I know this is the third board meeting where there's been a presentation about the external audit for the sheriff, and I know you mentioned that it was at the request of the board. It was actually at the request of only certain members on the board. I've seen 3 presentations on the sheriff audit, but I have not seen a formal presentation about the SPLOST, and I would like to actually see a formal presentation on the discussion that the board needs to have on the SPLOST. If we have to make a decision on the level 1 project, I mean, a written list of what are those options for the level 1 projects? How much do each of those options cost so that the board can make a fully formed decision about SPLOST, which is going to be on the ballot in November, and if the cities need to be informed by June 23rd, then we as a board need to have the opportunity to have a conversation about what the level 1 project is, how much does it cost, so that we as the board can come to a decision before you discuss anything with the cities. And I don't feel like we've had that opportunity as a board to talk about the SPLOST.
Okay, so Madam Vice Chair, that's the process we're in right now, is generating the project list so we can have the discussion. At the mini retreat, we discussed whether or not this board wanted a level 1 project. I talked about the jail. I talked about what qualifies for a level 1 project. There was some discussion back and forth with the board about the jail, about the courthouse, about some other thing. This board landed on the jail upgrades. And then I presented that at the board meeting following that, just to get concurrence from the board. Is this the direction the board wants to go? With this level 1 project, with this dollar amount, that was codified in my email to the board. Post that second board meeting, which was sent out,
I have it, but
I believe on June 4th, that gave you kind of, here's the level 1 that the board gave me direction to include, here's the dollar amount, and then this is the estimates that I will send to the municipalities absent any further discussion from the board. I didn't get any other feedback from the board, so my intent was, as I'm required by law, was to send notification to the cities based off language given to me by the county attorney. Here's how we plan to move forward. Here's your allotted percentages. Within 10 days, we will schedule a meeting to come together collectively to discuss the project list, which will then have to go back to all municipal and county boards to be discussed. So what you're asking for is what we're doing. Now, if there's additional information you want to have on level 1, then we can have that conversation.
right, but to your point, this has all been in an email. I mean, when you discussed, even at the mini retreat, there was no presentation. You listed here, because I remember having to write down each of the options that were in the level 1 project, and then we made that decision the day of the mini retreat.
Right,
The mini
so
retreat.
if-
This is a multi-million-dollar project for
Yes.
the SPLOST, And since we use SPOS dollars for our capital improvement and also apparently for our maintenance, I hope that we as a board are using our time wisely to have the conversations about how we are allocating that SPOS money.
Well, and Madam Chair, just to remind you, I did come before the board previously with a presentation detailing in great detail the SPLOST 2026 timeline to include, I did that on April 15th of 2025, and laid out for then what benchmarks that I had to hit by law. If this board wanted to try and get this done by November, so we would have 2 shots at a referendum, that was a complete decision by the board. So we moved forward based off the timeline that I laid out, and you know, the presentations that we've been made has been based off need. At the mini retreat, I was simply waiting on feedback from the board on did you want a level 1 or not. So no, there was not a formal presentation. I had one question because I couldn't really move forward with what I needed to do from a calculating standpoint, from a notification standpoint, without understanding that fact, because those funds come off the top. So when we made the last public presentation and I asked specifically, I believe one board member said, so what do you need from us? I said, I just need a decision on a level 1 project. So if there's other projects you would like, that would have been a great time to discuss that. And we can certainly discuss it tonight. I'm standing here.
Again, if I understand the timeline, I understand each of the points where the board is supposed to be making a decision, but absent of, you said a presentation done in April, I don't have any physical, tangible documents to review to say, okay, you know what, if we're gonna do a level 1 project, we should do this project, and you know, it's estimated to cost this much money versus this level 1 project, which is estimated to cost this much money, instead of the board at the mini retreat saying, we want to do a level 1 project, and then you'll come back to us and tell us, okay, this is how much it's going to cost to do the level 1 project. That just feels like a really long process for planning a project that costs this much money.
Well, but part of that is understanding the will of the board, and I can't understand what that is unless I ask you and you tell me. So if you tell me what it is you want me to provide you from a project list, I'll be more than happy to do that. To Commissioner Allen's point, one of the things that she brought up about the courthouse is in our facilities master plan and is already budgeted, it's already scoped. We're just waiting on the 26 SPLOS, so that will be included. So as we talked about what those 4 items were, if there was something you had in your mind that you would like to see, that's great. If there's nothing specific you want to see, we're going straight off the facilities master plan as to what needs to be done. A lot of what's on that facilities master plan doesn't qualify as a level 1. Okay. So that's why we're not discussing it. But if you'll provide me what it is you would like to see, I'll get that to you.
Well, I'd like to see what the options are to select from. Like, I think it's incredible that, you know, Commissioner Allen identified a project in the capital improvement list for projects, maintenance facilities list, but I don't have a list to look at and say, this project versus this project. I'm just going off of, we need to make a decision about a level 1 project, but I don't know what projects the county needs that qualify as level 1. So that's the information that would help me better make an informed decision on what type of level 1 project I would want to recommend or suggest.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
All right. Are there any other questions at this time, board members? Thank you, DCO Marcus.
Yes, ma'am.
Great job. Next, I just want to recognize some of our public officials who are in the audience. We have A.D. Dixon from our city councilman from Jonesboro. Are you still here, Mr. Dixon? Let's give him a round of applause. Please stand to be recognized if you're here also. And next, we also have Ms. Rosanette Kirby, is city councilwoman for the city of Lovejoy. Are you here? Please stand to be recognized. Thank you. All right. Do we have any other public officials that are present tonight? All right. Thank you. Next, and we have, you said what now?
I thought one of the judges was here, but
I know Judge Ferguson was here, and our Solicitor General is here. Who's in the back?
Judge Fox.
Judge Fox, are you here also as well? Judge Fox? Judge Fox, I'm here. All right, thank you. All right, next we will go move to our public comment. All right, Deja.
Citizens will be given a 3-minute maximum time to speak before the Board of Commissioners. Please note that all public comments must be limited to the matters on the agenda or even matters which the governing board has jurisdiction. Speakers must maintain decorous demeanor and refrain from personal attacks upon board members, shouting, and using obscene language. Following 30 minutes of hearing from the public, the Board of Commissioners will allow the remainder of citizens who have signed up to be heard at the next Tuesday business meeting.
All right. Again, please make sure you state your information as you come up. Dr. Henry Anderson.
Henry Anderson, District 3 constituent and resident, non-incorporated, Clayton County, Hampton, Georgia. Good evening, Chairwoman Mrs. Dr. Leka Anderson-Henry, Madam Vice Chair and District 1 Commissioner Ms. Elena Reeves, District 3 Commissioner Mrs. Tasha Allen, District 2 Commissioner Ms. Gail Hamburg, and District 4 Commissioner Mr. Demond Davis. I will now go over and explain the 5 major categories and groupings that gives me, as a citizen of Clayton County, the power, authority, might, control, and command to evaluate all 5 of you, our Clayton County Board of Commissioners, and all of Clayton County's governmental departments, divisions, authorities, agency boards, and their chiefs, directors, managers, supervisors, and any other people in positions of leadership and power. Let me first say that all 5 of you, our Clayton County Board of Commissioners, do not answer to me. All 5 of you do not report to me, nor am I not your superior. I am only one citizen among the many thousands and thousands of citizens in Clayton County, but I am the only one Clayton County citizen that has the power, authority, might, control, command, courage, strength, and ability to hold all 5 of you and all of Clayton County governmental departments accountable, responsible, and answerable to my Clayton County Citizens Performance Evaluation Review Grading Scale and Report Card, which I have already created, formulated, put together, constructed, have mastery over, perfected, in which I have complete, full, total, and absolute power, authority, control, and command over, and where everyone will come to know, feel, experience, and respect the power, authority, might, control, and command of my Clayton County Citizens Performance Evaluation Review Grading Scale and Report Card. First category and grouping, your Clayton County Board of Commissioners Powers and Duties Form, Article 2, Section 2-10, that will be used in your evaluations, which states that the Clayton County Board of Commissioners shall have exclusive jurisdiction and complete authority and control relative to all county matters of Clayton County, and it goes on to list a total of 24 powers and duties. Second category and grouping, Clayton County's organizational chart that is in the 2026 fiscal year annual operating budget that shows the Clayton County citizens at the very top of the organizational chart, which indicates that the ultimate authority and direction of Clayton County's government originate and come from the Clayton County citizens ourselves. I will talk more about this second category and grouping in great comprehensive detail during the public commenting section at the next Clayton County Board of Commissioners regular business meeting 2 weeks from now, on Tuesday, July the 1st, 2025 at 6:00 p.m. As always, continue to have a very productive, great, engaging, orderly, excellent, exceptional, and outstanding rest of your Clayton County Board of Commissioners regular business meeting on this evening, Tuesday, June the 17th, 2025. Good day.
Mm-hmm. All right, next will be Mr. Orlando Gooden. And Mr. Gooden, give me 1 minute because our time clock is needs to be reset.
I'll time myself, don't worry about it.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Gooden.
Orlando Gooden, District 3. Normally, some of my comments I wouldn't make on a zoning night, but since we're going to put people's business out there, let's do it. Commissioner Reeves, your June 7th budget hearing was very informative, and Ed Wall's presentation was excellent. He is very knowledgeable on budget matters. I was told that my public comment June 3rd on agenda item number 18 was incorrect. it showed the budget amendment 2-42 for $19,555,903 with no specifics or details. Commissioner Allen had to request the breakdown from the agenda interim CFO Angela Jackson. The sheriff's request of $7 million was not included. 2 commissioners only wanted to pay the food service bill and the medical bills. Well, food service bills and medical bills are like legal bills and lawsuits. They're not fixed expenses. The last 2 years, the sheriff has been underfunded by $14 million and understaffed. But the deputy COO who did the audit of the sheriff's department's overtime told me, I don't want to hear that. The sheriff has everything he needs. Now, he just did a presentation. I didn't hear anything about overtime. I'm talking about cars. If you're going to audit, start with the chair. The hypocrisy was pointed out during the June 3rd public comments. Open records request shows, and I have it right here, 360.5 hours of overtime and callback charge to the police department from January 1st to March 29th for the chairwoman's events, meetings, among others. The overtime rates for the police officers are $30 to $79 per hour. That is a blatant waste and abuse of our tax dollars and resources. How many of you could stand an audit? I doubt it. Commissioner Reeves, if you want to ask a question, you feel free, because you represent your district and the people of this county, and don't let anybody criticize you for that. Recently, Commissioner Davis, during your town hall meeting, you repeated what former Commissioner Franklin said. The sheriff is a constitutional officer and we're required by law to fund his budget request. So what changed?
Thank you, Mr. Gooden. Next will be Ms. Leandria Johnson.
Good evening. For the record, my name is Leandria Johnson. I live at River's Edge in Fayetteville on the Clayton County side. I'm in District 3. I just came before you just to commend our commissioner, our new elected Commissioner Allen. We haven't had a commissioner come to our subdivision since the last one was Judge Brooks, I think it was, Malone. And we haven't had an active representative to come out to our subdivision. And on this past Saturday, Commissioner Allen came out to introduce herself as well as to educate us on programs that she wants to implement and also educate us on basically, she was talking about putting unity back in the community, and she passed that information on that. She also introduced to us the beautification committee that she's planning on organizing and giving us the date, which was very encouraging. And one of the printouts that she gave too was Clayton County. We weren't aware of any of that because we haven't had representation. So I just wanted to come before her to personally say, on behalf of us, our HOA, thank you very much for coming out. We look forward to seeing you as well in our next meeting in August. And without further ado, I'd like to also thank Mr. Stanford for coming out. He's always come to all our meetings. And there were other Clayton County that came out as well. So again, Commissioner Allen, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson. Next will be Ms. Mia Ballinger.
Good evening, everyone. Mia Ballinger, District 4. Many of our Clayton County residents go to other counties to receive the proper medical care. I had a patient say to me the other day he would rather die in the parking lot of Southern Regional Hospital than to go inside. I did not have the proper words to say at that moment. I then said to my patient, I am sorry that you feel that way. Is there anything I can do for you? I then exited my patient's room. I have been advocating for Southern Regional Hospital so much that it's become my full-time position. Please do whatever you can in your power as a board to improve the reputation of Southern Regional Hospital. Also, on a good note, I am hosting a day of respite, an event for our Clayton County parents and guardians of children with unique abilities, Saturday, July 19th, starting at 9 a.m. until 4:30 p.m., located at 2112 Rex Road in Morrow, Georgia, at Travelers Rest Baptist Church. Where's the camera? I want to thank you, Pastor Arthur Powell and Travelers Rest, for using and allowing me to use your space for a much-needed event. Thank you so much. I do have some flyers, if I can send them up by one of our wonderful. Thank you, and have an amazing day.
Thank you, Ms. Ballard.
I mean, if y'all can come, just come on, say hi, take some pictures, whatever.
Thank you. So you want to give us the flyers. Thank you. All right. You good? All right, next will be Ms. Dorothy Oakes.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dorothy Oakes. I am a Clayton County resident. I'm a Clayton County special education teacher at Suter Elementary School. One of my favorite pastime hobbies is crocheting. I do crocheting and knitting. I've come across a CareWare organization from Delaware, and through their organization, they have a list of hospitals on their website that you can go and do knitting, crocheting, or sewing and make garments for the babies in the NICU and that sort of thing. I contacted them, and I've come up with my own group called Babies Love Wear. I brought a few samples tonight that I will be glad to show later. But I've made, I'm making little outfits, crocheting little outfits and things for the NICU babies. Southern Regional, I know that Ms. Ballinger was just mentioning, but Southern Regional has opened their hospital to us, to their mother-baby program classroom that we can go and meet in. I like to pull the group together and meet at least once a month. My proposal for the board is to please help me, assist me in getting the word out. If I can possibly maybe email each one of you or the board in general, somehow to get my name, and I'm using my Clayton County school email address, but I just want to get the word out to get this group together. The hospital averages, is Nurse Patty Cody is my contact person, and she has told me that they average 10 to 15 babies in the NICU alone. And what they'd love to try to do during their mother-baby program is to send the mother home with crocheted items and that sort of thing, which I think is wonderful. And I love to see them dress up our babies. Of course, because of COVID and other things, you can't go in anymore and go to a window and see the babies. There's no window. But I think it's wonderful what they're doing. Like I said, I just want to get people together to help me get the word out, to pull this group together so that things can be made for our babies.
Thank you, Ms. Oakes. And do you have have you set up anything as far as a flyer or anything?
No.
Okay. Well, I'll let you, DCOO, can you speak with Ms. Oakes and just kind of correlate how we can get the word out there for us? Did you want to say anything?
I did. Two things.
Yes.
Please sign me up.
Awesome.
To knit something for the babies.
Yay.
Also, I know the schedule for our headquarters library on Battle Creek. Every Thursday at 10 a.m. they have the crochet and knitting club, and if you can connect with my constituent H, she can get you the name of the person on Thursdays at 10, because she is also partnering, and so you all may be a part of the same group. So there's already
Awesome.
crocheting and knitting clubs that exist here in Clayton County through the library system.
Also, there's, I've almost forgot, my youth pastor at my church, Xavier. He is also backing me and helping me. He attends my church as a youth pastor, and so we're working together as well. And he said to send his regards.
All right. Well, thank you, Ms. Oates. We appreciate you. Thank you. All right. Next will be Ms. Linda Jones.
Hello.
Hello. Hey, Jones.
My name is Linda Jones, and I live in unincorporated Ellenwood. My notes today include references to mostly past as well as current commissioners. June 3rd, 2016, 2016, a request was made by affected resident to not allow truck terminal or variance at 3861 Grant Road in Ellenwood, Georgia. September 15th, 2020, request for a revision of plans to deny construction of warehouses and non-residential friendly properties at and near I-675, Tanner Church Road, Williamson Road, and Grant Road in Ellenwood, District 1. August 12, 2021, presentation of 140 names on a petition from Grant Forest Subdivision to halt zoning for construction at the corner of Grant Road and Williamson Road at 3861 Grant Road. We understood that later the applicant withdrew application for the construction at that site. During or about the time of the pandemic, application for construction at 3861 Grant Road was submitted and approved. Several other applications for construction within a mile radius near Anvil Block Road, Grant Road, and Williamson Road were granted by Clayton County Board of Commissioners to the dismay and detriment of at least 3,000 uninformed residents who live in these nearby communities. Attached, of course, I've given you the recent Google announcement for rental of more than 125 parking spaces of trucks at 3861 Grant Road, along with photos. Please look at the wording, the terminology of their request for rentals. Also is a photo of the already aligned yellow parking spaces for rental. Again, commissioners, these contractors are presenting you a bill of sale that is destructive to the citizens you represent. Just remember, SLAVERY comes in all shapes. I do believe you. You are our representatives. I know you're savvy to these unscrupulous requesters, but I'm beginning to wonder if you have time to review requests presented to you by planning and zoning offices in your districts. I have found that when the pros outweigh the cons, we should move ahead with the pros. Get work done and leave the cons alone, because they may bite us very hard in the long run. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jones. Next will be Ms. Antoinette Montgomery.
Good evening, Madam Chair and Board of Commissioners. I'm District 1. How are you? I'm here to commend the EMTs. It's been a while, but I haven't been able to come to commend the EMTs. Back in October, I got real sick and had to get emergency care. I believe they came from Station 1, 4, and 8. And I'll tell you, I never, ever thought. So I publicly wanted to thank them for the service that I received. And then I also want to thank code enforcement in my neighborhood, Officer Davis. He has been, I believe, code enforcement may be understaffed, but he works diligently with the concerns of my neighborhood. So anyone who has any concern about thinking that code enforcement's not doing nothing, they are. Trust me, they are. And then I have just one concern. In my neighborhood, even though there's no parking signs, I have a concern for the school buses that come through there. I have seen way too many times cars that are parked on the street, and the school buses have to go on the other side with a school bus full of children on the other side of the street to avoid that parked car. And, you know, to be proactive, we don't want to be reactive, you know, if anything. Well, we're not going to say that, but I just want to, I'm just concerned. And then I didn't know that the school buses are still rolling through until I saw one the other day about 2:30 before summer school. Bus full of school kids going to have to go on the other side of the road to avoid a parked car. So thank you. You all have a good evening.
All right, Ms. Montgomery, can you, is anyone here from Code Enforcement, Major McDonald, anyone here? Okay, you go see. Code Enforcement now, about your concern, thank you. All right, number 8, I can't read, this is illegible. Do you know if you signed up for number 8 on the public comment? All right, I'm gonna move to number 9, Mickey Garber.
Madam Clerk, Mickey Garber, unincorporated Rex, Georgia. Madam Chair, members of the board, the one thing that I haven't heard about in the budgetary process in any shape, fashion, or form is the mandate that the Capitol gave this county, that they mandated an ethics board. And it was supposed to be in place by January 1st of this year. Nothing has been done, or I haven't received information concerning an ethics board for this, our glorious Clayton County. And this also should be a concern along with public safety. This all encompasses public safety is our ethics board. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Garber. COO, did you get some information on the ethics board today? You can get with Mr. Garber so we can give him the update. Thank you. Yeah. We all need an update. Yeah. So, as well. So you can get with Mr. Garber.
I'm Mr. Garber.
No, you can get, I know who you are. I need you to get with him. Thank you. Thank you. We just got it today at 5:30. All right, next is Mr. Eric Parks.
Good evening, Madam Chair. Board of Commissioners, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Eric Parks, and I come before you as someone deeply committed to building our communities with purpose, compassion, and long-term vision. Today, I'm excited to share our proposal for a transformative project in the heart of Morrow, a 53-unit townhome community with 7,000 square feet of nearby retail space designed to meet real pressing needs. This is more than construction. This is an opportunity. We're focused on creating affordable housing, a place where families can grow, seniors can age with dignity, a hardworking people can finally have a home they can afford. In Morrow, too many of our senior citizens are being priced out, isolated, or forced to move far away from the neighborhoods they've called home for decades. This will offer them stability, walkability, and simple dignity of being able to live and shop in the same area without having to rely on distance or inaccessible services. Alongside this housing, our retail space will empower small businesses, many of them minority or women-owned, to serve the very community they are a part of. We're not just building units, we are building relationships, economies, and a sense of belonging. What's most disappointing is, despite the numerous attempts, I have received no response from District 1 Commissioner. The people of Marlboro deserve leadership that listens and acts, and we're here, willing and ready to collaborate with the community and move forward with transparency and integrity. I invite each of one of you to see this potential in the project, not just the walls we build, but in the lives we impact. Together, we can create that vibrant, sustainable, and inclusive for generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Parks.
Oh, and I have some pictures for the review for the flooding of the park. If you want to receive them.
You can hand it to one of our police officers, and they will send it, take it to her. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, this now ends our public comment. Thank you for everyone who came out to speak tonight. Thank you. Also, is there anyone else that would like to come up for public comment? I had one that signed up that I couldn't, it wasn't, the name wasn't legible. So if there's anyone else who would like to come up for public comment, you can at this time. Thank you. All right, again, this now ends our public comment for tonight. We will now move on to our consent agenda. At this time, I need a motion to approve the consent agenda. All right, can I get a second?
Second.
All right, board members, are there any discussion at this time for the consent agenda? All right, no discussion at this time. Are you ready for the question? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstention? The ayes have it, and the motion passes. Thank you. All right, next we will move on to our regular agenda. We're going to first start with item 9. And Tahija, do you have 9? I have 9, 12. Is it 21 and 26? So we can make sure we have the correct ones.
I have 9, 12, 26. That's correct.
Okay, so 21 isn't on there. Okay. All right. The first one is the budget amendment for the FY25 countywide departments. Ms. Jackson?
Budget Amendment 2-41 in the amount of $19,555,903 recognizes revenue and reduces expenses for various expenses throughout the county.
All right. At this time, I need a motion to approve the FY25 countywide departments budget amendment 2-41.
So moved.
All right. And can I get a second?
Second.
All right. Any discussion at this time, board members?
Yes.
All right. Commissioner Reeves?
Interim CFO, almost called you Mayor, Jackson. I had a few questions. I know this is an item that we discussed at the previous meeting. I'm still trying to wrap my head around this large amount of money that's coming before us at the end of the fiscal year. Can you just refresh my memory for these amounts, the increase in expenses? Are these funds already allocated or have they already been spent by these departments?
Some of them have been and some of them have not.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I guess the follow-up question to that is how do we differentiate for the amounts that have already been spent versus the amounts that are projected to be spent through the end of the year? Just thinking ahead to next year's budget, like how do we prevent having to do a budget amendment, especially such a large budget amendment at the end of the fiscal year?
This amendment first came before the board on June 2nd. So since that time, we've had a couple of pay periods that would have caused some of these items to, at that point, go into the red. But what happens, like for example, the FY26 budget that was proposed tonight, the payroll was loaded into that budget at the end of February. And that's for next year's budget. So when you load the payroll budget, you're loading it at a specific time, and it's based on the positions that are in place at that time. So at the end of February, the payroll was loaded for all of the various departments based upon the exact positions that were in place at that time. So if any promotions take place, if anybody retires or chooses to take another job or are given promotions, then it would not have been taken into consideration even in the FY26 proposed budget, because I would not have had knowledge of that at that time at the end of February when we loaded the payroll into the budget.
Okay. And then the second question is about, so, you know, as a member of the budget subcommittee, one of the things that you had mentioned during the process was around budget lapses. Is there any connection with this, with these amendments and FY 2025 budget lapse?
There's several things that may happen throughout the course of the year. Once again, like I said, it could be annual leave payout, promotions, the time that the salary was loaded, civil service litigation, and lapse. Lapse is only applied to departments. Let's say you typically carry around 40 vacancies a year. If you typically carry 40 vacancies, we might not fund all of the positions are authorized, but we might not fund you because you have carried 30 to 40 vacancies for the past 5 years. If that's the case, that would be an extra $2 million that are sitting in a department's budget versus being allocated, which could also cause taxes to increase because you have that money lying there. So with lapse, if you typically carry a vacancy rate, if you trend carrying a vacancy rate of 10 to 20 positions every year, then we might not fund that 10 to 20 in your budget. But it depends on what you have done over the past 5-6 years.
So, you all right?
I'm sorry, I just have a little cold. I'm sorry.
So, I guess the other question is just how, as we prepare to adopt the FY 2026 budget, how do we, I don't know what that looks like, eliminating the vacancies, filling the vacancies within departments, or doing the reclassifications, which I know that there are some departments that have asked for reclassification. So how can we amend the current budget so that we can prevent a budget lapse, which, yeah, that might be another conversation for a later time, but I just, looking at this amount, I just don't want us to get in a predicament where at the end of the fiscal year, next June of 2026, that we're having a similar conversation around this large amount of money.
It's different departments carry vacancies for different reasons. You've heard some of the departments say they carry those vacancies because they can't fill them at the salary that the position is offered. Some carry vacancies because there's testing that's involved in hiring particular employees, and I really am unsure of why all of the departments carry vacancies. You have some departments that don't really carry vacancies throughout the year. Or maybe one or two, because you're going to have, no department is going to stay fully staffed the whole year. Somebody's going to leave, either through retirement, finding a different opportunity, and there's just no way to predict who that might be, when that might be. All we can look at is the vacancy rate that they have carried over a number of years and how a particular department may trend, whether it trends toward carrying higher numbers of vacancies or whether it trends towards not carrying many. But it's impossible when you have to do a payroll load in February to know exactly what's going to happen the next year and a half.
All right, are there any other questions? Board members?
Madam Chair, I'm sorry, I left off one, item number 21.
21, okay, I thought it was 21, okay, that's fine. Got it.
Ms. Jackson, just two quick questions. One, is this a reallocation of revenues?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And two, is this coming from general fund?
Not from the fund balance, no, sir.
Thank you. I'm sorry, yes.
All right, are y'all ready for the question? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Nay.
Any abstentions? The ayes have it, and the motion passes. Next is item 12, Resolution 2025-104, resolution authorizing Clayton County to enter into an intergovernmental agreement with the City of Jonesboro for the 2025 Groove on the Green concert series. All right. At this time, I need a motion to approve item Resolution 2025-104. All right. May I did y'all
Do you want me to?
Did
Did you want me to read it first?
You gonna read it off? Okay, go on. Because I started reading.
I mean, I.
Go on.
Okay.
Read the last part. I did the first part. Just read the last part.
Resolution 2025-104. Again, it's the resolution to enter into an intergovernmental agreement with the City of Jonesboro for the 2025 Groove on the Green concert series. To authorize the chairwoman to execute the agreement and to otherwise perform all acts necessary to accomplish the intent of the resolution, to authorize the chief financial officer to amend the budget where necessary to reflect an appropriate revenue source and expense relating thereto, to provide an effective date of this resolution and for other purposes.
That's it? All right.
Yes.
At this time, I need a motion to approve Resolution 2025-104.
Didn't you just do that?
You said. You
I
made.
just made the motion.
Okay, I second it. All right, is there any discussion at this time?
Yes. Is this the concert series that would take place, the Sip and See thing?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, talking to the mic.
Can you restate that question a little louder so we can hear? Because I was going to say that.
Would you please use
She asked, was it the concert series that was the Sip and Sound? It's been changed to Groove on the Green.
Yeah, she had her mic up, that's why I was asking.
Okay.
All right. Change it from the Sip and Sounds. All right. Is there any other questions at this time?
Oh, yes, I have a question about the budgetary impact. How much does this summer series cost the county?
This is out of Parks and Rec.
It's out of the Parks and Rec
Yes.
budget. It's already budgeted in their budget. So there would be no impact to the county, no economic impact. It's already in their budget.
Got it, thanks.
All right. All right. Is there any other questions at this time? All right, are you ready for the question? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? The ayes have it, and the motion carries. Passes. Next will be item 21.
Item 21
Got it.
is resolution authorizing the county, Clayton County, through the Department of Community Development to enter into a memorandum of understanding with Clayton State University to establish a framework for data sharing, to authorize the chairwoman or a designee to execute the memorandum of understanding and to otherwise perform all acts necessary to accomplish the intent of this resolution, to provide an effective date of this resolution and for other purposes. And I see
Mr. GK and Clayton.
people coming in.
Madam Chair, Vice Chair, Commissioners, good evening.
Good evening.
This item is a data, this MOU is a data agreement between department, county really, and and Clayton State University. This data agreement allows us to build from an academic perspective in preparing our residents in Clayton County for workforce development. If the university knows, because we are a front-facing department, this data sharing agreement allows us to let them know real time who is coming to the county to do business. By doing so, as you guys know, one of the requirements when company comes, what is your workforce like? So this data allows them to understand what we're doing on the government side and prepare on the academic side, and hopefully maybe design curriculums that will help things to for us to supply the labor pool that we need in Clayton County. So this evening I have officials, top officials from Clayton State University, and I'm going to introduce Dr. Sifa Sachi to introduce the group. They have so many titles, so I don't want to mess it up.
Say, go forth and introduce themselves. Thank you, Mr. GK.
Yeah. And also, we have
Ms. Mary.
our planning administrator, who also was instrumental in putting all this together.
Okay.
Ms. Mary Darby.
Thank you, Ms. Mary.
All this is towards our moving Clayton County forward.
Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity to be here this evening. Thank you, Madam Chair, Madam Vice Chair. It's a pleasure and a privilege. I am Dr. Archie. I serve as the Assistant Vice President at Clayton State University, and I just want to, before I move on any further, give acknowledgement to Mary Darby, Patrick Ejike, and I think Cheryl Brooks may be here as well, who have been very instrumental and collaborative in helping us to facilitate this partnership and opportunity that is focused on responding to the business needs of Clayton County. And so what I'd like to do is I'd like to yield at this time to our new provost, who has been here all of about 3 months now and has been exceptional in making this partnership a priority of what we do. So I'd like to introduce Dr. Jill Drake, Executive Vice President and Provost for Clayton State.
Welcome, Dr. Drake.
Thank you. Good evening again, Madam Chairman, Madam Vice Chairman, and esteemed commissioners. I wanted to give a little more information about this partnership and why it's important to Clayton State and why we think it's valuable to Clayton County, because this short survey that will be included and distributed to businesses coming in, as already has been shared, will allow us to assess workforce development needs. And not only are we looking at developing programming around that through our accredited and degreed credential programs, we also want to look at focusing our CAPE, our continuing ed programs, to also meet workforce needs. And on the other side of that, when we know what levels of degrees and what areas of degrees, we also can look at our graduates and letting them know these are the needs, these are the workforce opportunities for them, and also even internships. So there are multiple layers with which having this information will enable our university to serve the community, move Clayton County forward, and to strengthen our partnerships. As you know, we're about social mobility, and we believe that meeting the needs of our business community will allow our Clayton County constituents and our students to experience social mobility. So we're very thrilled about this partnership. It's strategic. It allows us to collect the data on. We have a planned regimen for it, and we are excited to have this partnership with you all.
Thank you so much. And don't go anywhere, Doctor. Board members, do you all have any questions at this time? I just want to say also thank you. You were going to say something?
No, I was just going to add that including the citizens of Clayton County, it's some kind of way, and maybe you all have done this already, is to include our youth commissioners.
Okay, sure. Okay.
And I just want to say thank you all for doing this, because one of the ways is we're moving Clayton County from Tier 1 to Tier 2. Our committee met, and I just want to thank our COO, Mr. Stanford. We were talking about in that meeting about how workforce and making sure that we get the people and our constituents, making sure that we get them educated. And as we get them educated, we get them jobs right here in our county.
Exactly.
Because everybody who comes within our county is coming from other counties to work and get those $60,000, $70,000 a year jobs. But we want the people here in Clayton County to get those jobs. So thank you for being instrumental. Thank you, Mr. Ejike, for working on this as well. Ms. Mary, we really appreciate you as we move Clayton County forward and move us from Tier 1 to Tier 2. We're going to take baby steps at a time, but we're going to move, and we're going to continue to look at everything, the data. And again, this is where we need to go to move to Tier 2 and move Clayton forward. Thank you.
We're glad to be a part of that.
All right. Thank you.
I believe that I don't know if there was a motion made or not. Okay.
No, we hadn't made a motion. All right, and so at this time, I need a motion to approve 2025-119.
So moved.
All right, I second that motion. Is there any more discussion at this time, board members? Are you ready for the question? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? The ayes have it, and the motion passes. Thank you. Next is 26, Resolution 2025-124.
Resolution 2025-124 is a resolution authorizing Clayton County to enter into an agreement with Southern Crescent Sexual Assault and Child Advocacy Center, Incorporated, located and conducting business in Clayton County, to authorize the chairwoman to execute the agreement and otherwise perform all acts necessary to accomplish the intent of this resolution, to authorize the chief financial officer to amend the budget where necessary to reflect an appropriate revenue source and expense all as may be required under the terms of the agreement, to provide an effective date of this resolution and for other purposes.
All right. At this time, board members, I need a motion to approve Resolution 2025-124.
Yes, Madam Chairwoman, I move that we continue our relationship with the Southern Crescent Sexual Assault and Child Advocacy Center.
I second that motion. Is there any discussion at this time, board members?
I just got one question,
All right.
which is,
Commissioner Davis?
how long have they been involved with Clayton County? I couldn't find that.
I know that this has at least been something we've been putting on the agenda since at least 2017. So I would think that, and we weren't starting it then at that time either.
I don't know if the name had changed or what, I just didn't recognize it, so, okay. That's pretty much my question.
All right, is there any more discussion at this time? Are you ready for the question? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? The ayes have it, and the motion passes. Next is item 33, Resolution 2025-108. You gonna read it?
Resolution 2025-108 is a resolution authorizing Clayton County to establish a Sports and Entertainment Council, to authorize the chairwoman to perform all acts necessary to accomplish the intent of this resolution, to authorize the chief financial officer to amend the budget to reflect an appropriate revenue source and expenses may be required, to provide an effective date of this resolution, and for other purposes.
All right. At this time, I need a motion to approve Resolution 2025-108.
So moved.
All right, I second the motion. Is there any discussion at this time, board members?
Yes.
All right, Commissioner Reeves.
What is the financial impact of this sports council?
As of right now, zero, because we'd use what is already in-house, so there is no financial impact on our budget.
So I was here for the presentation at the work session, but I have on here about a staffing plan that would include positions. Are those positions that are already within the county?
Are you looking at the staffing plan from community development?
No.
From the community development org chart?
No.
Because I don't believe we had a staffing plan in that presentation.
All right.
Can I,
Go ahead.
Commissioner
what
Allen.
she's talking about is the email that you sent with the director, the project managers, the 1.9 million from the hotel tax.
Mhm.
And then 1 year after the council is formed, the $300,000 to $500,000 over the 3 years. I think that's what she's.
Okay, that was something that was put in place in one of the first iterations, which was a while back. And so that is totally revamped.
Oh. Well, that's good to know. I just want to make sure before voting on a sports council that we're aware of what the financial implications are for this council.
Correct. The biggest thing was, and we heard it from public comment, was there certain folks that talk about taking the onus, some of the pressures off of residents' sales tax. And this is a way of beginning to create a revenue stream and different revenue streams to begin to support and help our county.
Commissioner Allen, you got any?
So voting, or if this passed today, there will be no division created and more employees added under economic development. I think that's what she's trying to get an understanding of.
That division of the sports council would still be under economic development.
And
Would
then
be within economic development, I'm
But
sorry.
I'm sorry. I think we need
Commissioner
to make
Reeves?
sure that we're differentiating between the division and the council. Because the
sports
council
council.
is the board,
The
correct?
Sports and Entertainment Council would be within the scope and division of economic development.
So are we creating a new division?
No.
Within economic development?
We're creating a council within economic development.
And the council is a voluntary board akin to what we have with our boards
It would be
and
how,
commissions.
it would be assisted by a board.
So basically, what you're saying, Commissioner Davis, is that just like we have the boards that we appoint different people to, that board would be there. However, they would work within that department.
Correct.
And work with that
Well,
department.
within that
department.
division.
Yeah, within that division to assist them as we look for sales tax dollars, or we look at doing the sports and bringing sports to Clayton County. so we can move the county forward.
And that's where we're trying to go, utilizing that sports and entertainment vehicle.
But there's currently no division within the Economic Development Office that would oversee this council.
No, there is not.
One to be created.
So is there a plan to create because I want to make sure that I'm understanding the terminology, because if there's not a division that would oversee the council, are we approving or discussing a council that doesn't have any attachment to the Economic Development Office?
It is within the Division of Economic Development. Now, the Economic Development will be headed up sometimes by a director of Economic Development, which the Sports Council would fall in the jurisdiction of that director within the Economic Development Division.
Okay.
All right, is there any other discussion at this time, board members? Are you ready for the question?
I'll just make a comment because I do want to make sure that the constituents who have reached out feel like their voices are heard, where they have voiced that they would like to see the county prioritize. They would like to see the county prioritizing other avenues, whether it's beautification or shoring up projects that the county already has in place versus pursuing a sports council.
All right.
I just wanted to make that known.
Thank you for those comments, Commissioner. And so we will,
One more thing.
we will move forward with the votes.
One more thing, Chair.
Okay.
And I want to say one thing for the record as well, too. I would like to not see this sports council and or division come back to the board in 1 to 3 years to ask for $300,000 to $500,000 to fund this division when we have the Solicitor General asking for people, we have the judges asking for people, we have building and maintenance budget who was cut $1 million, we have transportation and development. I get calls every day about the roads. Although initially the plan is to start it with hotel motel tax, but in the proposal that I read, and 1 year after this board forming, they will come to the Board of Commissioners to request $300,000 to $500,000. So I would not like to see that. And before I vote, I would like to know, will this come up, this $300,000 to $500,000
Like I said,
in 1 to 3 years?
That was a draft that was put forth in the summer of 2024 to begin different discussions of different ways of funding it, which was outside of this concept that we've come up with.
So if this was
that
drafted,
draft
why did we
is
receive it
not
last
there.
2 weeks ago, like it's current?
No.
And then if this was drafted in 2024,
Correct.
I see community development. Under community development was economic development. So that means you're telling me in 2024, you guys had a plan to put economic development under community development. But I digress.
If I could, Madam Chair.
All right.
First of all, good
COO.
morning. Good morning. I was like, good afternoon. I'm still in the morning again.
Good
Oh, my
evening.
God. Good evening, Madam Chair, Vice Chair, Board of Commissioners. Two points to clear up. Commissioner Reeves asked specifically about additional funding. There's no additional funding that will be requested. The deal was, just like we do with our boards and committees, and I think we use the example of the advisory board for Parks and Recreation. It would be structured similar to that, other than the fact that it's not an advisory in function. It will serve as a kind of a foundation to help figure out ways to bring in funding, whether or not supporting the costs associated with that, but it's not looking to pull any money from the general fund to assist the build out of the Sports Council. Madam Commissioner Allen spoke to about funding later. Again, if there would have been funding asked, the funding would come from our hotel motel tax, not from our general fund. Unlike some of other departments, the hotel motel tax can be utilized to assist in those respective areas. So the goal would be, if there would be any funding, and there would not be, at least this first year, to give an opportunity for us to find the funding through the user fees and charges to associate ourselves with the needs for that respective area. So again, there is no request for any funding, there's no request for any new positions. The person that would serve as the liaison in that space would be the marketing position, which would be Brandon. And again, he will assist that board in providing funding for that space.
I understand what you're saying, but the proposal that I was sent, initially, yes, the hotel motel tax will fund it. But upon successful demonstration of the proof of concept, the board will submit to the Board of Commissioners a request for $300,000 to $500,000. So my thing is, if we're gonna be asking department heads to cut their budget and not ask for personnel requests, why should the Board of Commissioners create a division that may or may not? I mean, it's a great idea. I think it's great. I just think that it's not great for right now when we're asking our department heads to cut back on their budget and we're adding stuff. It's just not a good look for the Board of Commissioners, in my opinion. And I want to say that for the record.
Understood, Commissioner. Again, I'm not privy to that document that you're looking at. The discussion, as we talked specifically about making a request of this board, was not to ask for any additional dollars to formulate the Sports Council. And I think that's the request in this ask now.
So I have a follow-up question. COO, you had mentioned that the council would not draw from the general fund.
Right.
But can I get some clarification on if this council is using any of the hotel motel funds in the resolution that is on the agenda for today's vote?
No, ma'am. There's no financial request, hotel, motel tax, or general fund to fund the Sports Council.
I have a question.
All right.
Well, I don't have a question, I have a statement or comment.
Commissioner.
And I believe during the, when they were telling us about this and explaining it, that this council should bring in money.
That is correct.
If I'm not mistaken, it should bring in money to the, to Clayton County and to our budget and all.
One of the reasons why the 13-member board was asked that you would hope to bring forth sponsors and bring forth individuals that can provide collateral, opposed to asking them to sit on the board and get compensated to do it. So the goal is, even though you have the base 5 individuals that will be appointed by this board, the other members that will be appointed should serve as a funding arm to help defray any costs associated with the creation of the Sports Council.
And I have a comment too. So the bottom line, and I want the citizens to know this, is we need sales tax dollars. And so as we develop things such as the sports councils, that's when we talk about thinking outside the box on how we're going to bring in diversified streams of revenue into our county. So we've got to do something, because we can't continue to have the burden of have the burden of taxes on our property taxes. We have to do something different and bring in something different. So again, if there's no economic impact on our budget, and if this is going to move our budget, why not do something like this to improve our county?
Well, Chair.
Yes, sir.
And hopefully there will be economic impact on our budget.
Yeah.
But I'll just leave you with this. Next month, I believe there's a high school volleyball tournament down in Orlando, Florida, for 5 to 7 days. It's a $200 million impact to the county. And this is high school girls volleyball.
Yes.
And can we do that? Not at this time. But it's all about creating different revenue streams to basically begin to offset the burden that the residents have from the taxes that we've been hearing about.
Thank you. Thank you for echoing my sentiments as well. Thank you. All right. Is there any other discussion at this time, board members? Are you ready for the vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Nay.
Any abstentions? The ayes have it and the motion carries. Thank you. Next will be item 35, board appointment to Community Service Board. Ansel George Davis resigned from the Community Service. You want me to read it? You got it.
No, Madam Chair, I just want to know where did you plan on doing the other budget amendments? Are you going to do that now or after the zoning?
We can do it now. Yeah. The 24 and I was about the 22-42 and 2-43. Okay.
Budget Amendment 2-42 in the amount of $300,000 to amend the budget for intergovernmental expenses paid throughout fiscal year 2025.
All right, I need a motion to approve Budget Amendment 2-42.
So moved.
All right, I second the motion. Is there any discussion at this time? All right, are you ready for the question? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? The ayes have it and the motion passes. Next.
Budget Amendment 2-43 in the amount of $2,632,629 for the Medical Service Fund to cover the cost of benefits, fees, and performance bond expenses for fiscal year 2025.
All right. At this time, I need a motion to approve 2-43.
So move.
All right. Can I get a second?
Second.
All right. Is there any discussion at this time? Are you ready for the question, board members? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? The ayes have it and the motion passes. Thank you. All right, next is item 35, board appointment to the Community Service Board. Ansel George Davis resigned from the Community Service Board. The existing term expires on September 16, 2026. District 4.
Can we hold that until the July 1st meeting?
All right, we'll hold it to the July 1st meeting. All right. Next is item 36, board appointment to the Solid Waste Management Authority. Rob Leatherwood resigned from the Solid Waste Management Authority. The existing term will expire on July 31st, 2025. The new term is for 4 years, beginning after the existing term ends and expiring on July 31st, 2029. Commissioner Davis.
And I'd like to, go ahead. I'd like to hold that one until the July, 15th meeting?
Okay, hold until, Madam Clerk, we'll hold this until the July 15th meeting.
Clear.
All right. Item 37 is our CUP conditional permit for indoor amusement and recreation facility at 5442 Furnace Road, Unit 125, Forest Park, Georgia. Oh, and I'll let you do the zoning. I don't get started, baby.
You can read the,
She got to get it.
Next, we have our zoning items. Item number 37 is BOC-2502-0483.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Good evening.
Consultant.
Good evening, Madam Chair, Board of Commissioners. Tonight, we will discuss item 37, BOC-2502-0483. The applicant is Dude and Dolly, LLC, is requesting a conditional use permit for indoor amusement and recreation facility at 5442 Frontage Road, Unit 125, Forest Park, Georgia, 30297. The subject property consists of 4.20 acres in the MXI district, also known as mixed-use commercial industrial, further known as parcel number 13084085001, located at the intersection of Frontage Road and Penny Road. We did receive notification from the applicant to table this until July. Staff supports this recommendation.
Commissioner Henry.
What's that date?
What's the date?
July 15th.
Okay, do I need to make a motion to just agree?
what,
Do I need to make a motion or just agree?
a motion to
Okay.
table it.
Okay. Well, I move, excuse me, I move that we table BOC-2502-0483, conditional use permit for the indoor amusement and recreation facility.
All right, I second the motion. All right, is there any discussion at this time, board members? Are you ready for the question? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? The ayes have it and the motion passes. Thank you.
The next case is number 38 on your agenda, reads as BOC-2410-0459. This is a conditional use permit. We have received constitution objection from the applicant, which has been submitted to the county clerk. This item was tabled from May 20th, and this should be a decision only at this time, and I'll read the caption into record. A request by William Scotsman Incorporated for a conditional use permit for a warehouse and storage, repair, refurbishment, and cleaning of trailers and furniture owned by Modular Space and Storage Solutions Leasing Company at 3640 Grant Road, Ellenwood, Georgia, 30294, which is zoned heavy industrial. The subject property consists of 39.61 acres, is further known as parcel 12244B A001, located between I-675 and East Tanners Church Road. This property is located in Commission District 1.
All right. At this time, is the applicant, the applicant present at this time? All right. Please come up.
We've already had the hearing for this.
We did it last time. All right, so we just need to vote on it.
Yes, and Madam Chair, normally the clerk would read the instructions for zoning, but I don't believe that that was left, so I just wanted to quickly just kind of give explanation of what the process looks like. So each side will have 10 minutes to present an item for their particular zoning item. And then the other side will have 10 minutes to present material. Contrary to that, the applicant can reserve time to speak to the time in favor of their item, and then following that, the board will make a decision on that.
Thank you. So at this time, we just need to vote on BOC 24-10. All right, Commissioner Reeves, what's your pleasure?
I make a motion to table BOC 2410-0459. Oh, until the
July 15th?
July 15th meeting.
All right, I second that motion. Is there any discussion at this time? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? The ayes have it, and the motion passes. All right, next will be item 39, BOC-2411-0464.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The caption reads, a request by E&E Construction Company for a conditional use permit for the expansion of a warehouse at 5088 Pine Tree Street, Forest Park, Georgia, 30297. The subject property consists of 3.77 acres. It is zone HI, which is heavy industrial, further known as parcel 13053C B002, located near the intersection of Forest Parkway and Pine Tree. This property is located in Commission District 2.
All right, is the applicant here to present?
Yes.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. How much time do you need for to reserve for the rebuttal? Up to 10 minutes.
But maybe 3 minutes.
3. Okay. All right. The timer is set. You may begin.
All right. My name is Cesar Contreras. I'm a representative for E&E Construction, and our address is my address is 6368 Peerless Avenue, Sugar Hill, Georgia. We've been hired by the owner of the building to extend the building. Is a cooler that he wants to extend. We're not looking to extend the actual concrete. The concrete has already been there. We're just looking to build a pre-manufactured engineered building on the existing concrete slab. We will not be expanding the footprint. We'll just be building on top of it. That is what we're asking to get permits for.
All right. Thank you. And did you get his name and county resident also, Tasia? You had everything? Okay, just wanted to make sure. All right. All right, thank you. Is there anyone here in favor of this item? Anyone here in favor of this item? Please come forward. All right, one more time. Is there anyone here in favor of this item? Please come up to the podium and state your name and county of residence. All right, is there anyone here in opposition of this item?
Okay.
You, as I was saying, you can sit if someone comes up.
Okay.
You have a seat.
I can have a seat.
Siéntate. Yeah, make it.
No.
Does he stay up there? Right there, but just sit down. All right, is there anyone, again, that is in opposition to this item? All right. One more time, is there anyone here in opposition to this item? Please come up to the podium and state your county of residence. All right, sir, you may come back to the podium. And we're gonna set the clock for your rebuttal. You have anything else you'd like to say?
I do. No.
Okay. All right, well, thank you so much.
Sure.
All right, next I'll turn it over to you, Commissioner Hambrick.
Yes, I would like to approve BOC-2411-0464, conditional use permit for an expansion of the warehouse at 5088 Pine Tree Street, Forest Park.
I second the motion. Is there any discussion at this time, board members? Are you ready for the question? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? The ayes have it and the motion passes. Thank you. Thank you.
everyone.
All right, congratulations. Next will be BOC 2503-0494.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Caption reads, a request by Lene Braiding LLC for conditional use permit for a beauty salon at 7170 Terra Boulevard, Unit J, Jonesboro, Georgia, 30236. The subject property consists of 3.77 acres. It is zoned mixed use zoning district, also located in the Terra Boulevard Overlay District and the Business Corridor Overlay District. This property is further known as parcel number 13175CF005 and located at the intersection of Terra Boulevard and Johnston Road. This property is located in Commission District 4. Before us, we have an applicant that is requesting a conditional use permit to operate as a hair salon braiding shop. This is the subject property where they are expecting to operate. If you can see the yellow star there, so that is the frontage of the store. Around the area are several different uses. This is the zoning map that shows that the property is zone mixed use. That is the blue area. The yellow area are residential properties. The darker blue is a commercial zoning district, and as well as the red, that is zone GB. And this is the future land use. They are not requesting to change the future land use. That will remain the same. They're only asking for a conditional use permit. And that let me back up a little bit. Staff's recommendation is denial of this application.
Is the applicant here to present? All right, please come forward. Good evening. How are you today?
Yeah, fine.
All right. How much of the 10 minutes would you like to reserve for your rebuttal?
Yes, sir.
How much of the 10 minutes would you like to reserve for your rebuttal? Meaning, how much time would you like to speak, sir?
Maybe just about 5 minutes.
5 minutes. All right. And also, okay, you may begin. Please state before you begin, please state your name and county of residence, and then you may proceed.
Yeah, my name is Innocent Musa. We reside here in Clayton. So, technically, we're trying to, the braiding, we requested for the temporary conditional license, but it was denied on the 12th, and we reside here, and we believe that we should be serving the community. Braiding is totally different from salon. What do you call it? Before the word salon came, there was braiding. This was a kind of, being an African origin, this is a way we try to bring our community together again. And it's going to be a way where we can promote where we can promote unity and like in family togetherness. Technically, it's a way of empowerment. We want to empower not just like regular braiding. People used to think anything braiding. No, this is just about empowerment, empowering the people to empower the society. We have kind of training programs we're going to introduce, and technically we are building some kind of a mobile app around this kind of a braiding platform. And if successful after a year, technically we're going to establish a kind of a course like a customer center right here of serving the whole populace. It's not different from something like Starseed or something like Booksy and Co. I believe that if you look around, you will see that almost about 50% of the women here, they always have their hair braided. And why wouldn't we try our own tradition and embrace the chemically induced and other form of this? Let's promote our own product. Braiding was given to us right from childhood, and it brings together between the relationship, ties the relationship. I remember when I was small, I used to do my mother's hair, trying to play with her. From there, she would now be telling me some words, some sweet advice and co. Everybody should be empowered to know how to braid hair. That is one of our goal. And also, not only that, we're going to work with chambers of commerce to see how we can get to the community. And we're going to like organize programs like back to school programs and there are people who are incarcerated out there. There are people I call them single mothers out there. They need to be able to put food on their table. And one of our programs is to empower these people, bring them together once in a while, give them free training. If back to school program you don't have the financial capability to put your child together and co. This is what we can do. We can give a whole lot of discounts, and if sometimes providing free services across the community. It's also our own idea of braiding is totally different from what the kind of idea everybody has about braiding. And in short, we have already expanded almost $45,000 or $46,000 in this acquiring all these resources. We have paid all our whatever, and even promotional things. We have already expanded about 15,000. Not to talk about the mobile app. Most of us who know about mobile app, you know, it's not. We're talking about hundreds of thousands that are going to go into building mobile apps around this, so that at the end of the day, if successful, it's always about 80%. If successful, then we're going to establish a customer center right here in Clayton. So that place is like a place for POC. And while we are doing this, we should be able to, like those people we have empowered should be able to provide services to people within the community while perfecting their skills which they have acquired. So we are looking at a whole, though I'm trying to quickly put it together because I have a full slide of it, of what we plan to achieve. So it's not just like regular braiding. People every morning you open shop and close 5 to 6. No, this is a kind of a unique way, a kind of way package to get to the community, and in short to generate revenue for the community as well. So that is what we are looking at right now. So why not let us embrace our culture? Braiding is our culture. We are born with it, and it's an African thing. It's a way of promoting African heritage. It's bringing art to reality. It's not all about whatever. We are not born into other form of chemical kind of braiding or salon, what they call it. So the word salon is a very big word. It's not just, if you can even go to your dictionary,
Thank
you
you,
can
sir.
check,
Your
you
time
will
is
not
up.
be able to find something.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Is there anyone here who is in opposition of this item? Is there anyone here who is in opposition of this item? Please come up to the podium and state your name and county of residence. Can y'all be here? Thank you.
Henry Anderson, District 3 constituent and resident, unincorporated Clayton County, Hampton, Georgia. I am not necessarily in denial. Commissioner, District 4 Commissioner Mr. Demont Davis, Madam Chairwoman Mrs. Dr. Leka Anderson-Henry, Tyler McSwain, Zoning Administrator, Commissioner, District 2 Commissioner Ms. Gail Hambrick, District 3 Commissioner Mrs. Tasha Allen, and Madam Vice Chair and District 1 Commissioner Ms. Elena Reeves. This has been put for denial. There was no reason given to the denial. I am curious to know why the Planning and Zoning recommended denial and why the Zoning Advisory Group, which is a citizens group, you all put intelligent citizens why it was denial. I looked at the picture. It is by a laundry. Last month or the month before, this came up, so I'm asking Tyler, will you please give, it's been done, that's why I go to all of y'all. And Commissioner Davis, I would like to know why this is for denial. That is intelligent, that is proper, and this is why when I talk about evaluation, because you all look down, and that's going to be evaluated too. This is what's needed. So I'm going to ask when I sit down, will you all, Commissioner Davis, will you give the order, tell us why this was denied? I'm just curious because I'm looking at it right there. I would be curious as to the reason. That's all I ask. Please give the reason, and going forward, I see you nodding in agreement. That makes me, I like that, but make sure you give the reason why it's denial. That's all I ask. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, is there anyone that is in opposition of this item? Anyone that is in opposition of this item? One more time, is there anyone that is in opposition of this item? All right. To the applicant, you can come back up. We don't do 4. He used up all his time. So, look, I done got the process now. Don't mess up my flow. I'm over here flowing there.
Is there nobody for to speak?
Well, he used up all of his time for during the initial part, so now he has 5 more minutes at the end, and he can speak. He can do a rebuttal at the end if he wants to rebut. All right. So, do you have time? Would you like to do a rebuttal? You have 5 more minutes. I got it. Chuck, am I right? Thank you. I'm teaching y'all. You can speak again.
So, like what I was saying, if you are able to, if we get the approval today, at least we help deliver excellent breeding services and culture to the society. We can dedicate 40% of our service towards empowering the people of color, single mothers, those incarcerated, and the less privileged to reduce crime and promote unity. And we can make Clayton and the community known to the entire Georgia as a county where the best black breeders resides. And we can promote culture, heritage, foster unity among families. Convert art to reality. Well, I keep saying the word converting art to reality. So technically, our parents, we used to look at it as art before the word braiding. Then from braiding, they now begin to classify it to be under salon. I don't think braiding is salon for me, but I think it's an art. It's something our parents gave to us when we were growing up, and we have to pass it to our children, and it brings us together as a black community. And honestly, these are single mothers driven kind of business, and they use this to provide food as well for their family. So that is why we are asking for your approval. And the money we have expended on the program and the rents we have paid over time, just trying to get the place well prepared, different from other breeding, and the ones we have maybe lost during the way when we're trying to actualize our dreams. I believe that denying it, we have a whole lot of impact on our family as well. And also we have it's going to reduce revenue drive for the community and the county at large if denying individuals the ability to provide for their family and increase poverty level. And sometimes it's going to help, it's going to take some people out of the street, let me use the word. because when they have a source of, I remember when I was in the college, I knew how to take care of hair very well. So when I'm broke, I bring out my whatever to look for whom to buy the hair and make few dollars just to survive. And I think that if we keep on transferring this culture to our children, we don't have billions or millions of dollars reserved for our children out there. So our children out there surviving on their own, but when they are empowered, they should be able to, through that skills they have acquired, they should be able to earn it's a kind of a reward, and avoiding things that are not that are illegal, that we jeopardize their career in the future. Yes, we already know the country we live in, and we know how to survive. So the future of on-demand salon services, like at the end of the day, we have planning to have on-demand salon services, whereby when all these keys are passed to our children and everyone, they can be on their own, be online, and somebody can place a booking and they drive there and provide the services to the individuals who booked all this. So if we are not given the conditional license to try and experiment, then we're going to have a kind of a total loss of revenue as well, based on some of the developers and project managers we have already engaged in delivering this. So we are only, first of all, we are only asking for conditional approval. If after a year or something you don't see us fit, then you can, I don't know, you may decide what you want to do. But just we are appealing for the conditional approval. And let us do something. We have already gone far, and we don't want to turn back. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Davis, what is your pleasure at this time?
I thank you, and as a small business owner myself, I understand the whole trials and tribulation of going into business for yourself. One thing in particular, this area is extremely saturated with salons and hair services. Even here in this picture, I see a salon 2 units down. Through that 2-mile stretch of Terra Boulevard, there's over 20 salons, barbershops type of services. And for that reason, I'd have to move to deny this.
There are businesses. If our own business is totally, because it's called Braiding LLC, we never said Hair Braiding LLC. So there are multiple programs we can run under this salon. And there are businesses, why I say there are businesses and there are businesses in the sense that our own package with these activities that is carried on under these businesses may be totally different from the activities of others. And besides, it's not only the license that matters. It's ability to convert that license to the revenue that will benefit both the county and the individual providing these services.
Totally understand.
So if denied, technically, we're going to have a whole loss. What I'm currently estimating here.
We've already heard all that.
We've already heard from you. So again, at this time, Commissioner
for
Davis.
this, with over 20 of these in a 2-mile radius, or not even a 2-mile radius, a 2-mile strip, we've got to begin to look at bringing in other type of services to this community as well, that is going to uplift this community for Clayton County and for our digest. For that reason, I have to move to deny.
But are these services provided?
Thank you. We've heard your rebuttal. All right, so at this time, we have a motion on the floor to deny. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Is there any discussion at this time? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? The ayes have it and the motion passes. Thank you. To deny. All right. Next is item 41, BOC-2504-0497.
Thank you, Madam Chair. If I could we read item 41 and 42 together? No. Okay, sorry. County Attorney says no.
Can we do them together?
You all are making two decisions.
I know.
Wow.
You know I'm trying.
separate,
Keep
yeah.
going. We flowing good. Let's go.
Item 41 reads as BOC-2504-0497. This is a future land use map amendment to a request to the Board of Commissioners to amend the future land use map category for 1730 East Pleasant Hill Road, Atlanta, Georgia, 30349, from medium and high density residential to low density residential for a public high school known as North Clayton High School. The subject property consists of 107.042 acres, further known as the parcels reading in your agenda. This property is located at the intersection of West Fayetteville Road and East Pleasant Hill Road. This property is also located in Commission District 2. Staff has recommended approval for this change in land use.
All right. Is the applicant here?
So we are the applicant.
We are the applicant. Okay.
Yes.
Keep going. All right, and how much, the 10 minutes do you want to reserve for your rebuttal? Look, I'm on my, we good? I have to do all that? All right, so can we?
So just, if there anybody here who's in favor of.
Okay, so I'll move on to, is there anyone here that is in favor of this item? Come on up and speak. Come on, Mr. Carter.
Madam Chair, I'd like to say something here.
Come on up to the mic, to the podium.
Madam Clerk, Mickey Garber, unincorporated Rex, Georgia. Madam Chair, members of the board, I'm glad to see that there's a zoning and a construction going on for a public school to house our children who live here now and the ones coming to our neighborhood. They shouldn't have to deal with double sessions. They shouldn't have to have class in a trailer. They should have a substantial and well-constructed school to attend. I've lived in this county for quite some time, and there was only 3 high schools in the county: Forest Park, Jonesboro, and North Clayton. This namesake should continue with a new building. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Garber. Is there anyone else who is in favor?
Good evening, Atanya Jean Funny, District 3. And I know you all are going to approve it, but I did want to come up in favor of this particular project because I am a former teacher at North Clayton High School, and Madam Chair remembers all the times that I spoke at the Board of Education meetings about North Clayton High School needing a new building. And just for you all to know, there was one day in my classroom where we was having a good old time and water started gushing from the walls and flooded my room. And there are many times where they could not control the heat and the air for this particular building. So I am very happy to see that all the times that I spoke before the board for this building to be replaced, that is being done. So I am happy to approve this particular project. Thank you, Clayton County.
Yes, it is time. Thank you. Again, is there anyone who is an approval of this building? Yeah, I want to vote for it right now. All right. All right. Is anyone else? All right. Is there anyone in opposition of this item? Is there anyone that is in opposition of this item at this time? Please come up to the podium. And I ask one more time, is there any, you in opposition? You just. All right, thank you. All right, so the applicant, come on. Y'all have nothing else to say? We're good? Y'all good? All right, all right. I'm going on through. All right, Commissioner Hampert, what is your pleasure?
Yes, I would like for us to approve VOC-2504-0497, which is to amend the future land use map.
All right, I second that motion. Is there any discussion at this time? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? The ayes have it, and the motion passes. All right, next, BOC 2504-0498.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The caption reads, to request the Board of Commissioners to rezone the property from RM multifamily to RS 110 single family to allow for a high school, North Clayton High School at 1730 East Pleasant Hill Road, Atlanta, Georgia 30349. The subject property consists of 107.042 acres, further known as the parcels located in your agenda. This property is located at the intersection of West Fayetteville Road and East Pleasant Hill Road, located in Commission District 2. The Planning Zoning Consultants has recommended approval on June 2nd, 2025. The Zoning Advisory Group also recommended approval.
I can go straight to it. Is there anyone here who is in favor of this item?
Madam Chair,
Come on up, Mr. Garber.
I know we have to take everything in order here. To cut things short, my reasoning for approval of this is the same as before. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Mickey.
Is there anyone else that is in approval of this item? Please come up in favor of this item. Again, is there anyone else that is in favor of this item? Please come up. All right, is there anyone here that is in opposition of this item? Is there anyone here that is in opposition of this item? One more time, is there anyone here that is in opposition of this item? All right, thank you. Commissioner Hampert, what is your pleasure?
Yes, before making a motion, I would like to bring to your attention a correction. It might be a typo. With the number, the second number under 42,
It should be.
you have 97, it should be 98.
98.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, thank you. Okay, I move that we accept BOC-2504-0498.
All right, I second that motion. Is there any discussion at this time, board members? Are you ready for the question? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? The ayes have it, and the motion passes. Thank you. This now ends our zoning meeting. Let me see. Oh, Lord, I know. Mr. Reed, you have, do we need executive session at this time?
I thought I had some good news, but I don't.
I was trying.
Litigation and personnel.
All right, at this time, I need a motion to go into executive session for litigation and personnel.
So moved.
May I get a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? The ayes have it, and the motion carries. Thank you. And we'll now go to executive session. We are coming back from executive session. I need a motion to return back from executive
Motion
session.
to reconvene?
To reconvene. All right, can I get a second?
Second.
All right, is there any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? The ayes have it, and the motion passes. Next on our agenda, Ms. Ambles.
Good evening. Well, it's night now. But hello to our Clayton County citizens, whoever may be watching. Pam Ambles, Human Resources Director for Clayton County. Per Civil Service Rule 5.201, I am bringing a consideration to the Board of Commissioners to hire Geisha Woods as Victim Services Supervisor. We are requesting to hire her at grade 21, step 25, a total compensation of let me make sure I get this right, $92,692, which is the total compensation. The cost of this request is $20,309.
All right, at this time, board members, I need a motion to hire Ms. Geisha Woods as the Victim Services Supervisor.
So moved.
Can I get a second on that motion? Second. I second it. All right, is there any discussion at this time? Are you ready for the question? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? The ayes have it, and the motion passes.
Thank you.
She's not here tonight. All right, thank you. Oh, thank you. You got it. All right, at this time, I need a motion to adjourn the meeting. All right, can I get a second? Is there any discussion at this time? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? The ayes have it, and the motion passes. This meeting is adjourned as of 9:48 p.m. You all have a wonderful night.